Well, one key addition we've had with our club this season is the arrival of our head coach, Sergio Farias, and also our coach, Mr. Waterwood Simaka. Sergio has a solid profile. He spent 4 or 5 years in Korea with Pohang Steeler, during which he managed to won 3 K-Leagues title and an AFC title. I think he is one of the most credited coach in Thailand as we speak at the moment. And so his tactics, his way of running the team is something that none of us have ever seen before. Also the return of Coach Waterwood really fit the last jigsaw together. He's been with us before, 3 years ago, and he knows how we operate. He knows how the Thai players think. And having spent 2 years with such a big team as Chonburi, he knows how the international players, and he gained much more perspective and get a much bigger picture. So now when both of them are together, it becomes a humongous synergy. Sergio will do certain things. Of course, the Thai boys or some of the players won't have a clue what they're doing. This is where Coach Waterwood comes in. He will be able to how shall I say, translate the ideas, not the language part, but the ideas and how shall I say, the style that Sergio would like us to play. And surprisingly, having a training session morning and afternoon, 3 or 4 days a week, it doesn't really bother much of the boys. They just keep on doing it. It's such a huge dynamic. And also we have a lot of younger players coming in. This year we focus a lot on younger players, our academy, our junior team, our second team. That is the reasons for the words birth of a legend this season. Sometimes, the two extremes would be a dynamic duo. The first day when they both arrived, I sat both of them down with me and I said, I told our head coach Sergio and said, do not worry about our coach. He is here to help. He is here to assist. He is not here to take your job. And Coach Yong told me, Coach Waterwood told me himself that he is really looking forward to work with Sergio. And so Sergio has that idea out of his mind already, so he's given it all he's got. And both of them, one is crunching out the ideas and the other one is implementing the ideas. So we are moving towards like what the professional football teams are doing, is where we have Sergio as a team manager. The word team manager in Thailand has a different meaning than in the UK or in Europe. But really what Sergio is doing now is a team manager, and Coach Waterwood is the coach. So Sergio will be thinking all the tactics, how they'll move, and techniques and set pieces, and Coach Waterwood will be the one who implements it with the Thai boys. Now with a different style, some of the Thai boys are used to the how shall I say, a country way of dealing with things, and that's how Coach Waterwood fits into the picture, and it becomes a dynamic duo. This season we're going to have a blast. That is one of the reasons. Another reason is we have, how shall I say, boosted our staffs. Coach Waterwood, our physiotherapist, the whole team, and we had a how shall I say, a little camping session and outside activities done together, and that is how we managed to melt all of them together. The team dynamic this season will be totally different from what we had last season. We struggled a lot last season, a lot of problems, some conflicts here and there, but this season I am sure it will be much different. The togetherness, the unity within the team, and the level of professionalism of some of the players that actually command respect from the others. A natural leader is a natural leader. You do not have to put, how shall I say, a sign on him that he will lead, but his actions, his behavior on the field will actually determine that he is a natural leader who actually lift up the entire spirit of the team. Well, one of the reasons is luck, of course. Another part, I really don't know, but I have to thank Kun Nevin for allowing us to negotiate with the players. Being good friends with many clubs, we are not just the branch of Muang Thong United or the branch of Buriram neither. We talk, and with Carmelo, he finished his contract with Buriram, and well, he decided he'd like to switch. And that's when I had a quick phone call with Kun Nevin and said, hey, look, this is what's happening. He said, okay, all right, if that's the way, then I'm okay. And also with Pratum, he called upon me and said, are you interested? Now that was one of the phone calls that not many people expected. No. And I said, of course, I would love to, because this season we had to let our former captain leave, Panupong, to Bangkok United. Bangkok United is also another team that we've had a pretty strong relationship with. So I try to accommodate everyone. And the arrival of Pratum and Carmelo is we'll see how that will affect our team. Sometimes a player would like to have everyone playing for him. In order to have that kind of commitment towards him, you have to be able to give everyone what you've got first. And I think Carmelo did just that during the pre-seasons. During the pre-seasons, he helped everyone. When he's on the field, if the left is in trouble, he'll just go to the left. If the right is in trouble, he'll just go to the right. If they're losing the ball up front, he'll just push so high. If there's a counter, he'll just drop down so low. So literally, he helped every single one in the team in such a way that by this time, with a few more days to go into the beginning of the season, everyone plays for him. Everyone knows how committed he is. Everyone can feel his dynamic and his professionalism. And everyone feels that in case of emergency, give the ball to Carmelo.
Yes, absolutely.
and that is the kind of, that's why I said, a natural leader doesn't need to have a sign on him. People feel it. And as a leader, you don't tell people what to do. Yeah. You show them how it's done. Yeah. And I think Carmelo does that on the field. And people, all the team players, his mates on the team, on the field, feel it. And they really respect him. It's something that I actually do it myself. Of course, being a politician and also being the son of a former Prime Minister of Thailand, my father's shadow is so big that if I enter into the political world, of course I am bound to be, overcasted by his shadow. Wherever I walk, everyone will know that I'm here because my father has been, the humongous force behind my back. Now, when it comes to football or sports, of course, he's also the main sponsor of our club, but everything that's happening in the club right now, from A to Z, is me. I'm doing this, I run it, I make my own decision, the mistakes I made, the success we've been through. The emotion is much more, is mine, it's raw, it's my feeling, and it's what I am doing at the moment. So when you achieve something, I can really feel it. It's like it's just giving me goosebumps. I mean, of course, standing on the podium, receiving that trophy on my right here, it's only an invitation cup, but it's the first cup that I've ever held in my hand, after 4 seasons in Thai football. 2 seasons in Division 1, 2 seasons in Thai Premier League, and this is the beginning of the 3rd season, and this is the first trophy ever that I've ever held, and it felt pretty good. It felt pretty good, but don't get me wrong, our performances during the pre-seasons, well, of course, it's unbeatable. We haven't lost to anyone, and that is what I'm afraid of most. That is really, really what scares me most. I do not want our team to get to go into the Sunday match against all sorts of power feeling that, oh, we've had an excellent, triumphant pre-season matches. This is just going to be another one. If they think of that, it's going to be the end of the season already.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And also being a bit of a, how shall I say, pessimistic. We've never won a game in Rajamangala Stadium. Exactly. I've been running this club for 4 years. This is, like I said, our 5th season. And when people talk about Buriram, they'll know their style. Buriram will have certain style of play. They talk about Chonburi, they talk about BC Terror. But when you talk about Suphanburi, there's no style because we change our coach every year. And, well, it's no one to blame really. We've just started, this is my 5th season. We are doing a lot of trial and errors. And, with the arrival of our new coach every year, I was hoping, okay, this guy will be able to take us for another couple of years. But unfortunately, sometimes we have to have the adjustment. Of course, now this time when we have Sergio with us, I very much hope that he will be able to repeat what he did with Pohang Steelers a while back. If he can stay with us for 4 or 5 years, I would love him to do that, set a certain format, not just for our first team, but for our junior team as well. Set a standard of play so that the future coaches that will come will be able to continue my style of play. To get us to a next level, I think I've plastered onto our new logo here. 3 words: discipline, perseverance, and honesty. I have no doubt about the international players that have been playing in Thai League for quite a while. But for Thai players, for them to achieve another level, for them to be able to play into another level, they need to have all these 3 words. They have to have discipline, they have to have perseverance, and they have to be honest. Discipline in such a way that they have to start when they're young. That's why I'm really concentrating on our junior team at the moment. You have to eat right, you have to sleep right, you have to train right. Eating is, at the moment, I believe, the most crucial part of them. You have to drink milk. Now, Thai boys do not drink milk. They just drink 1 or 2 canister a day or something like that, and they just eat, sometimes they just eat instant noodles, which is ridiculous. I give a lot of emphasis on food, what they eat, how many hours do you sleep, and that would provide them with the basic necessity of the build. They got to be tall, they got to be beefy. I mean, if you want to go up against someone like Marcio, or if you want to go up against someone like Tunes, you have to be big. I mean, just imagine our Messi J, Chanatip, go up against someone like Tunes. It's just going to be like running into a brick wall. Now, in order to get that big, you have to have a discipline both on and off the pitch. And that is a key thing that would propel Thai players into the next level. It's a sport, and it's a venue where everyone comes together. Every weekend, the whole city, the whole town will be lighted up with our jerseys. Moms and dads and kids will be walking hands in hands into our stadium, spending quality time together. This is a vehicle that would bring joy to the people. Well, sometimes it would certainly bring disappointment, but in order to really feel the joy part, you really need to feel the disappointment part first. And it's like a vehicle where it will bring the entire province together, the unity of the people, and to enable people to know how to watch sport, to have the spirit of sport in their mind. Okay, if they don't play football, they just watch, you have to be able to accept the defeat. You have to be able to accept that you've won and not to boast about it on Facebook or on social media. To be a good sports person, you know, when you lose, you get back up and you support your team. When you win, you support them even more. But the time when the team needs your support most is when they lose 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row. You know, you need even more fans to come in. So we use our club to educate people, to push this province up another notch. And that's why I said since day one that I came to this club that I will use this club as a mean to really improve Suphanburi and its people. I don't know why, but I just feel that this will be an exciting season for us all. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but out of the 4 years that I've been in this club, this year I feel different. I feel really, really different. So we'll see.